Tenere owner, I see you there. You're salivating at all those cheap products online, stuff you can get on eBay, Amazon, Ali, Temu, the TooWheels store. And you're looking at the headers. I've got some in. I want to try them out. I've heard a few positive things online. I've had these sitting in the garage for quite a while, but haven't had the time to do the install and the video. Do the install. Anyway, I'm going to put these on, see what they're going to be like. If there's anything weird about the fitment, I'll video it. Otherwise, assume that it goes smoothly. And yeah, we've got a before and after video with a decibel meter, so you can get a gauge on if it's going to make the bike louder. And a test ride will probably come. I don't think I'll do it in this video because I just want to get out there, show you guys what the install and the sound's like. Test ride will be later, and I'll give you a review after actually using the product. That's it. Let's roll. Exhaust wasn't too hard to fit. Everything went together pretty smoothly. Not too much to pick on, to be honest. The things I had the most trouble with was probably the electrical connectors. Literally took me ages to disconnect this indicator for some reason. I don't know if dirt got in there or it's just... Anyway, that was a bit of a drainer. That took way longer than it should have. And actually disconnecting the original O2 sensor from the harness on the bike took way longer too. So actually, like, the initial install of removing the pipe, removing the headers, that is super smooth and fast. You can do that quickly. That's not a big deal. And reinstalling it was more fiddling with electrical connectors, which it's not hard. It just obviously had a moment and couldn't do it smoothly. So maybe throw in some dielectric grease on those connectors when you put it back together. That's probably about all I would say. Bit of anti-seize on the head studs probably wouldn't hurt as well. So, but this bike's pretty new. Initial impressions. So initially, while I was putting this together and weighing everything, the weight difference wasn't as much as people were saying, at least on the scales that I use. People were saying 2 kilo saving. I reckon it was like 1. So for 1 kilogram, it's probably not worth it if you're doing it purely for weight savings. 2 kilos I can kind of get around because it's not an expensive system. Goes together pretty easy, so that's good. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the sound. So you've seen the videos; it is louder. The bike is louder. With the baffle out, I think it's getting pretty much too loud unless you like that kind of real, like, not raspy, but it's a really deep, like, aggressive grunt you get from this motor. I like it with the baffle in. I liked it with the baffle in before on a stock head-up. It was a little bit too quiet, but I don't really mind a quiet bike. So this is probably a good in-between the stock. If you've got this pipe or you've got an open pipe and it's got a baffle, you throw the baffle in, it sounds almost like standard on the stock headers. So with this header and the baffle in, it sounds pretty meaty. Like it's a good sound where you're not gonna annoy the hell out of everybody around you, but people will hear you as well. So I think it's a good middle ground. I'm happy with it. I'm going to keep them on. I'm also looking forward to trying to fit up an older style bash plate on this, and we'll see how that goes because apparently they don't fit on the newer Euro style 5 headers, Euro 5 headers. Actually, there was one thing I'll show you. I'll show you what I found. I'm running the Yamaha crash bars. Now, you have to take all this off. You have to take the crash bar off to get the plastic off, which is kind of annoying. And I definitely did not thread that piece there. So if anyone has done that before and wants to give me some advice on fixing that, that would be much appreciated because that's just kind of just chilling there for the moment. And it's a pretty integral part of the frame. Anyway, if you're running the genuine Yamaha crash bars, the clearance between the header and the crash bar, because you've got to put in this extra piece, where is it? It's pretty damn tight. It might actually be touching. Oh, hold the camera, you idiot. It might be touching. No, it's not touching, but there is a spot where it is. There's a stud that sticks out. It is on. Oh, lucky I'm checking my work here. That's got to be in there. I'll fix that once the headers are not going to incinerate my skin. So it's on this side. No, it's not on this side. Jeez. You know what? It is the other side. Huh? Am I even talking? What am I doing? Here it is. Here it is. So there's this stud that sticks out, and you can just see it looks like it's fouling it. So I might have to cut that down a little bit. Not a big deal. But if you're on the genuine Yamaha crash bars, this is an extra thing you have to put in. It goes in, well, the headers are in the way, but if you've got genuine Yamaha crash bars, you got to cut down that little stud. And keep in mind, you might have to fiddle with some of the bracketry here to clear that. Otherwise, if you're not running these crash bars, you'd probably be fine. So, yeah, that's where we're at.